This is Chris Bathgate, and I have one request, one song, and one story for this, the title track series, an effort to get out the vote while exploring album namesake, the songs that are the title track. First, the request. Get out and vote. Make a plan, follow through, and ask for help if you need it. Seize your chance to have your voice heard. Voting is an opportunity to change the direction our country moves in, how your tax dollars are spent, how our planet is cared for, and how our communities are supported. Elections have consequences, and the consequences of this election are paramount. This is your chance to shape and save the future, not only for yourself, but for all those who can't vote. When you vote, you're not just expressing your hopes for the future, you're expressing your hopes for your children, for your friends' children, for your neighbors' children, for a ton of other people that don't have the privilege to vote in this election, even my kid. We all depend on you and your vote. So make a plan, follow through, ask for help if you need it. Get to the polls and drop off your absentee ballots. Okay, now the song. I'm going to play the song Salt Year off the album of the same name, which was released in 2011 on Quite Scientific Records. The version I'm going to play is not the version that you'll hear on that album, but is the version that's been kind of living within me recently. I'm going to play this pump organ, which is in front of me. You might be able to see a little bit of it in this mirror. And I'm going to utilize this goofy mic, which lights up, but also has effects. I hope you enjoy it.
Still
Now the story. The song itself is really a song about resilience. It's a song about stick-with-itness. It's a song about hope and acting on that hope without the guarantee of success. That's important because the song is really detailing a timeline of regret and inaction. And despite how the speaker of that song laments that timeline, the chorus is still try again. It's still a chorus of hope and not giving up. And while I was working on that record, the album Salt Year, I was almost finished. It was years in the making, and I was having a really tumultuous experience, both finishing the record and in my personal life. They were both super chaotic. I'd gone through 3 or 4 drummers without success, and it was pretty far along in mixing the record when I decided to pull out of the studio I was working with, without a place in mind at that moment to necessarily have it land. And there was I was playing a show in Detroit, and like maybe a few months later, and a guy who I've worked with for years since, named Chris Bathgate, was running front of house, and I was sound checking for that show. And when I put my mouth to the microphone to sound check my vocals, this is like moments before I had to play, I got the biggest electric shock of my career as a musician. It was so powerful that I think that the lights in the bar dimmed, and Chris came running down from his booth, and I think he took off the hat that he had on his head, a stocking cap, and put it over the microphone, you know, and said, "Try not to touch it. Your amp's not grounded at all, probably." And I think that's when I realized that, you know, I've heard about him for years. That's when that's where I should go. So months later, I'm in a studio, and we're finally mixing the record. You know, you have to understand this record was 4 years since the last full length was released, which was A Corktail Wake, which did pretty well for like a guy like me in Michigan. It got me to Europe. It got me all over the place. It was doing really well. So I felt like the more time that had passed, the less relevant, the more opportunity was sort of falling through the cracks. And while he's working his magic on the record and cleaning things up and changing phase and doing all of his tricks, I sort of started to unload, maybe not at him, but in front of him, and was just spilling my guts about all these things that had gone wrong with the record, all these mistakes I'd made, all this money and time I'd wasted, all these failures that landed me there. And he stopped what he was doing for a second, and he said, "Well, it doesn't matter because it sounds good now." And to be honest, man, this isn't the last record you're going to make. You're going to make another record. Like, this isn't it. Maybe it'll take another 4 years, but it's not. This isn't your final piece of artwork in your life, man. You know, like, in that moment, he sort of was telling me, like, don't fixate on the mistakes of the past. You know, to move forward. Set your sights on the future. And I think that's when something really changed in me as a person. And I'm thankful for him. And I think that's where we are. I think we need to focus on the future. I think we need to keep trying and keep fighting. So please, get out and vote. Make a plan. Follow through. Many thanks to Title Track, and thanks for listening.